So when I auditioned for Frankenstein MD, I'd actually already been in for Emma Approved for the role of Frank Churchill.
I told your assistant to bring us 2 coffees. I saw you had a French press out front and some great blends. Colored me impressed.
Oh, we take our coffee very seriously here.
As you should. You can tell a lot about a person by the coffee they drink.
And?
Bold, confident, artisan.
Are you talking about me or about you?
Guess.
And he was great for that. And at the time, I think we started calling him Superman because he had this little, like, adorable curl right in the middle of his forehead.
Unfortunately, my car broke down, and I wasn't able to make it to the final callback, and long story short, I didn't get that. So when I saw that Pemberley Digital was doing another series, Frankenstein MD, I was excited. I was like, I'm gonna get this one. And it was for the role of Eli.
No, listen to me.
It's okay, Vic, look, if you don't want to tell me why you've got 1/20th of a dead guy in your refrigerator, you don't have to.
I'm being serious.
Even you, the crazy smartest person I know, is not that smart or crazy.
Well, what if I was?
And then I think Tracy actually emailed me and was like, hey, do you want to come in for the creature?
The monster was probably the toughest role to cast, I think because there is this great iconic performance of Frankenstein's monster out there in the world, the Boris Karloff version from the 30s movies. And everybody's seen it and internalized it. And when you hear Frankenstein's monster, immediately that's what you go to.
Nobody's ever played Frankenstein's monster with our science and with sort of the parameters of reality baked in.
And a lot of people would struggle with that. They couldn't think of how else the creature would be. And Evan immediately had a very interesting, strange take on the creature that was very idiosyncratic and all his own.
Another, like me, Frankenstein, help.
No.
Yes.
I can't do that.
Yes. Help. No, no.
I can't do that.
No.
I had a lot of freedom with this character. I could really do whatever I wanted, and as long as I justified that, I could do it.
In the audition, we had them do a scene where Victoria has the creature stand up for the first time, and most people would do like a little wobble as they stood or something. Evan did this move where his like back leg threw out and he sort of toppled over and then like corrected himself, and it was totally spontaneous and it was really weird looking.
He really knows his body and is able to control his movements. And so you could see him like learning how to walk right before our eyes.
Once we had him and once we started shooting with Evan, it was clear that no one else could have done what he did in that role. He literally threw that table. There was not any sort of effect there.
Really, a lot of the inspiration, the thought process of getting into this character was 3 specific things. A 5-year-old, a silverback gorilla, and oddly enough, a rhinoceros. That was to kind of have the dichotomy of that gentle, simple, childlike soul that really couldn't do anything wrong in the entirety of the world versus one of the most powerful animals in the animal kingdom.
It's the scene when he comes in and asks for Victoria to make him a companion.
Frankenstein, friend, no alone.
Was able to find something in that character that was, you know, you felt compassion for, you felt sad for, and, you know, it was the first time that I think in the series I looked at it as, oh, Victoria is sort of the monster in this particular scene.
Long story short, I got the role, and I could not be happier. I mean, from the day one I watched Emma Approved, when I saw the audition for Emma Approved, I started watching all of those seasons, fell in love with Pemberley Digital, and was determined to work with them one way or the other.